Let me ask you the following question. What's the last place that you would expect to find a terrorist bullet in the land of Israel? We've heard about terror attacks, Rahman al-Islam, at pizza shops, in shuls, in yeshivas, bus stops, shopping centers. But until October 7, we would never have thought that you'd find a terrorist bullet in the shul of one of the most secure army bases in southern Israel. A base that civilians cannot enter without a host of passes and background checks, where even an IDF soldier does not have free and easy access. Unfortunately, we know that that's not as impossible as we used to think. We saw on Shabbos Simchas Torah that the very same fence that would normally alert us if a tiny mouse ran across failed to alert us when squads of terrorists made their way across the border to commit the most atrocious act of terror since the Holocaust. How could this happen? That's the question that everyone's been asking. How could Israeli intelligence fail so appallingly? How could Hamas bring the powerful nation of Israel, the strongest army in the world, to its knees? There's only one answer: Hashem. Hashem is in charge. He is the general, the king, the captain, not of a nation, but of the whole world. Nothing can happen if Hashem does not permit it. Hashem sent the following message to the shul of one of the most secure army bases in southern Israel. Since October 7th, like many people, I've been doing whatever I can to support our soldiers, raising money for food and supplies, and tefillin, which many soldiers have been asking for, and delivering all that to the army bases. Usually when we come, the soldiers walk us around the base and tell us what happened that horrible day. They show us the devastation so we can see it with our own eyes. At one particular base, they took us to the base's shul. It had an Aron Kodesh, Sfarim, tables, chairs, everything you'd expect to find in a shul, plus a lot of what you would not expect. Bullet holes, bloodstains, all evidence of the close combat between our soldiers and the evil terrorists. Standing in that shul, I randomly picked up a Sefer, but nothing in life is really random. It was the Navi Yirmiyahu, Jeremiah the prophet. I noticed that a Hamas bullet penetrated the Sefer, in through the front and out the back. I opened it up, not really thinking, but as I leafed through these pages, I felt shivers go down my spine. Why? Because the bullet hole went through the bottom third of the book, going through the commentary of Rashi, but not that of the text, which is primarily on the top 2/3 of the page. Finally, however, I found where the bullet had penetrated an actual pasuk. That was in chapter 50, pasuk 33. I read the words aloud. Ko amar Hashem tzavakos, and so said Hashem, the God of hosts. Ashukim b'nei Yisrael u'b'nei Yehuda yachdav. The Jewish people and the people of Judah will be oppressed together. And all their captors will hold them tight. Me'anu shalacham, and they will refuse to let them go. When I kept reading the very next pasuk, this is what I saw. Go'alam chazak Hashem tzavakos shemo. Riv yariv es rivam. The Redeemer is strong. He will take up their vengeance. These are the words of Yirmiyahu the prophet, warning the Jewish people what will happen to them. Suddenly, I realized the room was silent. All eyes turned to me. The weight of that prophecy hung right there, in that room, a room that had witnessed the fulfillment of that prophecy. We always knew the Torah to be true, of course, but that day, on an army base at the Gazan border, we really understood. This is not ancient history. Tanakh is not a storybook. This is the story of our lives. This is the plan of Hashem. And like Rabbi Akiva laughed at the devastation of the Beis HaMikdash, our holy temple, because he knew that if it was destroyed, if that part of the prophecy was fulfilled, then it would one day be rebuilt. That part of the prophecy would also be fulfilled. So too, we can be hopeful. It's true, Hashem has given us a slap, a very difficult and painful slap, but Hashem will hold us close, is holding us close in a tight hug too. Ein od milvado, all is from Hashem. He is protecting our soldiers, He is comforting our broken families, He is healing our wounded and all of our hearts. We are beaten down, but we will emerge stronger than ever with His help. We must reach out to Hashem, we must pray for our soldiers, provide our soldiers with their spiritual weapons, provide them with tefillin. We have seen with our very own eyes how the power of the mitzvah tefillin is a merit that has been instrumental in bringing home hostages. We must open our eyes to the messages coming from Hashem. For the past 2,000 years, Hashem has gotten us through times of terror, horror, and struggle. He took us out of Egypt. He redeemed us from our first gullus. He was with us every step of the rebuilding of the land of Israel. and He will get us through this too. Ein od milvado. All is from Hashem. As long as we can take this message to heart and have strong emunah and faith, then we will be victorious. Am Yisrael chai li'ol me'ad. The Jewish people live forever.